Have you ever been in a situation where you're asking yourself, is this love or am I just suffocating? It's a really fine line, and today we're going to talk about how you can tell the difference. Let's dig in. So here's the big question, right? How does something that's supposed to be about affection and care end up feeling like a trap? For some people, just hearing the word love can actually spark a ton of anxiety, all because of what they've been through. Let's explore why that happens. Before we can spot what's unhealthy, we have to be super clear on what healthy love actually looks like. And at its core, it's simple. It's about being valued. It means your partner sees your importance. They genuinely care that you're okay, and they want to see you win. Real love makes you feel bigger, not smaller. And here's where you can really see the split in the road. True love, it's all about supporting your choices because your happiness is the point. But suffocating control, that's about them imposing their will on you. It's this nasty pattern of constant doubt and questioning that little by little starts to cut you off from everyone else. There's a really powerful way to describe this. When you're stuck in that cycle of doubt and control, it stops being a partnership. It becomes a noose. And that's such a stark image, but it's real. It feels like your freedom, and even who you are, is just being squeezed out of you. So, how do you see the bars of this cage before the door slams shut? Okay, let's get really specific and break down the warning signs you need to look out for. All right, here are 5 major red flags. Number 1, they try to isolate you from your friends and family. 2, there's this constant suspicion, always questioning where you are and what you're doing. 3, they just flat out disregard your choices. 4, it feels like they're trying to take control over every little part of your life. And number 5, and this one is huge, they show disrespect for your parents. And this is what that isolation actually sounds like. It starts out small with things like, you should probably just forget those friends. And then it grows into things like, why do you need your family when you have me? These are not expressions of love. Make no mistake, these are tactics designed to make you totally dependent on them. And that brings us to a really critical point, how they talk about your family. Think about it. Your parents invested their whole lives in you. So if a partner ever says something like helping them or spending money on them is a waste, wow, that is a massive red flag. It shows a deep, deep lack of respect and empathy. But why? Why do people even act this way? It's not enough to just label them as bad. To really get it, you have to understand what's going on inside the controller's mind. And when you dig down to the root of it all, you find one thing: profound insecurity. This isn't about strength, it's about a deep, consuming fear that you're going to leave them. And that fear can get so intense that it becomes this desperate, irrational need to hold on, almost like a kind of madness. So if you look at what's fueling this behavior, it's a really toxic mix. The biggest piece of the pie, by far, is that deep-seated insecurity. But it's also mixed with a need for power and that element of irrational fear we just talked about. When you put all those together, you get a really volatile and controlling mindset. And here's a truth you can take to the bank. How a person treats your family is a mirror. It shows you exactly how they'll end up treating you. If they can't show basic respect to the people who raised you, there's no way they will ever truly respect you. It tells you everything you need to know about their character. Okay, so when you lay it all out, the tactics, the mindset, the red flags, the conclusion is pretty unavoidable. This is not love, not even close. And just being able to say that, to see it clearly, that is the first, most important step you can take. Think about it. A healthy relationship should feel like growth, but a controlling one, it doesn't just stay bad, it gets worse. It starts with suffocation, and over time, it just becomes a punishment. It's this endless, exhausting cycle of trying to please someone whose fear can never, ever be satisfied. And that brings us to the most important takeaway of all. If any of this is hitting home for you, if you see yourself in this story, you need to stop and seriously rethink the path you are on. Is this really the life you want for yourself? So we'll leave you with this one last question to think about. A real partnership should set you free. It should make you feel empowered to be your absolute best self. So ask yourself, does your relationship set you free, or does it imprison you?